For 6 years, my daughter has believed she was adopted. She wasn't adopted. The lie was easier than the truth on a Tuesday afternoon in 2018. She did a DNA test last fall. My daughter Sophie was 12 when she came home from school in October of 2018 and asked me, very calmly, why she did not look like her father. She is right that she does not look like her father, Tom, my husband, who has been her dad since she was 3. Tom has blue eyes and a strong nose. Sophie has brown eyes and a small nose and a complexion that every summer becomes a shade Tom and I do not share. Sophie's biological father is a man named Marco who I worked with at a marketing firm in 2005. He was Brazilian. He was in the country on a work visa. We had a short relationship, 3 months, that ended a month after I got pregnant because Marco was offered a transfer back to Sao Paulo and took it. I told Marco about the pregnancy in a phone call. He cried. He apologized. He asked if I wanted him to come back. I told him no. I have not spoken to him since. Tom and I met when Sophie was 8 months old. I told him she was the daughter of a relationship that had ended. I did not give him details. He did not ask for details. We got married when Sophie was 3. He adopted her legally when she was 4. He is, by every meaningful measure, her father. The question Sophie asked me at 12 was the kind of question a kid asks once and then waits for an answer to. I did not have the conversation I had been planning to have at 16. I had to give her a sentence that day. I gave her the wrong one. I told her she was adopted. I told her Tom and I had adopted her as a baby. I told her her birth parents were not in the country and that we did not have a way to contact them. I told her this in our kitchen at 4:30 in the afternoon, with a sandwich she was eating on the counter between us. I told her in the tone I had been using for years to talk about hard things. I told her in the same way I would later tell her how her grandfather was dying. She believed me. Why wouldn't she? I told Tom what I had said that night. He was quiet for a long time. He said, quote, "We should think about whether that's what we want to be telling her." I told him I thought she would be more comfortable believing she was adopted than knowing her biological father was a real person whose name I had not said in 12 years. Tom said okay. He did not push. He has, in all our years together, never pushed. For 6 years, Sophie was a kid who believed she had been adopted. She wrote a paper about it in middle school. She told her friends. She made peace with it the way kids make peace with things, slowly, in small increments, with periodic returns to the question. She told us once, around 14, that she was not interested in finding her birth parents. She said we were her parents. Last fall, in her freshman year of college, Sophie did one of those mail-in DNA tests for an anthropology class. The test was supposed to be a class assignment. The results came back 2 months later, and they showed exactly one parent in the system, me. The system had a paternal match with high confidence. The paternal match was, of course, Tom's brother, because Tom and his brother had both done the same test 6 years earlier when their father had been ill. Sophie understood by the math in about 20 minutes. She called me from her dorm. She did not cry. She asked one question. She asked if Tom was her father. I said yes, biologically, except that he wasn't. Sophie came home for Thanksgiving. She sat across from Tom at the table and she did not look at me for the whole meal. She has told me she is not adopted and she is going to need a different word for what I told her at 12. She is still looking for it. What would you have done? Tell me in the comments.